Again today to share how I planned this week in my memory planner. As you can see, there's a look at last week, and it was so fun, and I had the watercolors and the stamping and all that stuff. And right now, I am going through the photos that I printed. I printed like 3 weeks at a time, and I'm picking out the ones that will go for this week in my memory planner as well. Now, as you can see, I have a Disneyland map that I'm going to punch with my Happy Planner punch and add to the pages. I'm super excited about that. It's one of my favorite things to be able to add little bits of memorabilia and all kinds of stuff to the planner. I think that makes it really super cool. Now, anyway, I'm trimming the photos with my paper trimmer, and I'm just going to put them in the places where they correspond with the date, and I feel like they'll go best design-wise. I'm not married to where they go either on the top, the middle, or the bottom, but I like to try to keep them to the approximate time of day or the approximate date if I can. Now, as you can see, this was kind of a photo light week, which is okay. I feel like I love it because they're all different, you know? Some weeks are going to be super heavy, some weeks are just fairly normal. Now, I'm going to share with you a little technique, and it looks a little bit weird here, but I feel like at the photos at the end, you might be able to see it a little bit better. I have a plastic Ziploc bag out. It's just a scrap, like, something I don't need. A little teeny tiny water mister, and then a handful of distress inks. I'm using the tiny ones. You can use the big ones. It doesn't really matter. It's really just up to what you have. Now, I've taken the page out, not only because that's how I memory plan, but then also because I'm going to be doing this mixed media technique. I don't want it to get on the pages behind it or anything like that. Now, I'm going to be working with the June 2017 Hip Kit Club Project Life and Scrapbooking Kit, but I think that I really actually only end up using the Project Life kit and then maybe the embellishment kit as well. And there are some of these cards that I love. The colors are fabulous, and I'm super excited to use them. Now, I have 4 of these little mini distressings. I'm going to be using the light pink and the light yellow because it's going to go color-wise with the rest of my layout. Now, I was just testing that green to make sure it did not match, and it totally didn't, so I'm cool. Now, I'm just going to be smushing some ink onto the plastic bag. You can be using any piece of sort of moldable plastic you've got. So I used a plastic bag. You could use the little plastic piece that comes inside embellishments, whatever. I used the Tombow mono adhesive to adhere my little photo down, and now I'm just spritzing it with a couple of little spritzes of water, and then I'm going to smush it all together. Now, that beaded up ink that you see on there, I'm going to get rid of that in my trash can real quick because I don't want it. And then now I'm just placing the ink down on the paper where I want it to go and smushing it all around just with my finger. There is literally nothing that is specific about this technique. It's just very, very simple. Now, while that ink dries, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim around the speech bubbles on this 3x4 Project Life card. Now, it's really awesome. I love speech bubbles anyway, but this is the color palette I'm going with this week, and I just really love the way that it all kind of came together. And if I was using pocket pages, this would have looked awesome, but because I'm not, it's going to look even more awesome on the page of my planner. So I'm just going to trim around all the white space so that all that is left is only the little speech bubbles, and then I'm going to use those as planning pieces. So instead of adding, I don't know, stickers or using stamps to notate things in this planner, I'm going to use the speech bubbles instead. So I'm just figuring out how I can get this down so it'll work really well, and I'm using the mono adhesive to get it sticky, and then voila, look at that. So now I have 2 little bubbles. One I'll use that's pointing to the photo to notate the subject of the photo. The orange one I'll use for a Tuesday activity, and the green one I will use for a Wednesday activity. Now I'm using my PaperMate Flair pen to write. That's pretty much what I use like 97% of the time, I feel like. I love it. It's great. It works well for me and my handwriting. It doesn't have any bleeding issues in the Happy Planner, and it's just really a solid choice for me. I buy them on Amazon, and I will link them for you down below in the description, but really it's kind of like my favorite thing ever. Now I added just a little sticker just for a little bit of excitement or interest on that green one, but it was not necessary at all. I just felt like, oh, that might be kind of fun, right? Now that's finished. So I'm going to open these stickers from Vicki Boutin. They're from American Crafts. And I like to cut the front of the packaging around like the top edges, and then that way you can keep them in the original package. Now sometimes I'll take them out and put them in a Ziploc bag, but I sometimes really just like to keep them in the original package because then I can take note of, oh yeah, that's what that was. Like if you ever want to buy it again, or if somebody asks, or something like that. Except for at this point, I've completely forgotten that they're stickers, so I'm using my mono adhesive to adhere them down, which is super stupid because they have a backing and then they're sticky. Why would you adhere them? Well, it's pretty typical, right? So now I've added another activity for Tuesday, and I'm kind of looking at this and it's getting pretty close to what I have going on at the first half of the week, which is kind of weird. It feels like, wow, there should have been more going on. I'm going to use these stickers and do a little decorative cluster at the bottom, and those florals kind of make that corner perfect. And then just adding these two little buildings also. It's purely decorative. There's nothing functional about this whatsoever. And it's just kind of how it how it sets this little scene right there. Now, as you can see, I'm pulling out these die cuts from Pink Fresh Studio, and I love them. I love that they're super geometric. They've got this really super modern flair, and I like that a lot. That's definitely very close to my style. Now, I'm looking for something that I can use to sort of embellish that photo, if you will. Like, I'm not going to layer over it per se, but I sort of want to add something to it. I don't know. But I really like the little circles, and I also really like the little speech bubbles that come in this package, and that kind of seemed to fit the overall theme of my week as well. Another good idea is that I'm able to sort of go through all of the die cuts and see what's in there, and then know for the future, like for the rest of the page, oh yeah, there was that in there, I think I want to use that. So that's always one of the fun things about sort of flipping through your supplies too, is sort of getting a reminder of what you have left, taking inventory, that type of thing. Now the first half of the week is complete, which is awesome. I'm super excited about that. And now I'm going to remove the second half of the layout and put that on my workspace. And you can see I have 3 photos on this half, which it's very exciting because it was a fun weekend, and I am looking forward to getting that down on this layout. Now I'm looking through the 3x4 cards, trying to figure out how I'm going to embellish, where I'm going to add patterned paper, and that type of thing. But the first thing I'm going to do is use this little star as sort of like a bullet point, and then write in the information underneath it. So I'm not using a stamp or a sticker or anything like that, just simply using the bullet point technique. Now I'm going back through all of the labels, which I have not clued in yet that they are stickers. I'm still thinking that they're just labels that I need to adhere. But I'm going to layer the sticker, and then on top of it and overlapping, place that label so that I can have like sort of that floral cluster on the right hand side. I really pretty much love it. Now in a minute, that's where I'm going to figure out that one label I just worked with, that they are stickers and not labels, because yeah, you'll see. It totally annoys me too. It actually makes me laugh because it took me so long to figure it out, and then I'm super annoyed by it and have to deal with it. Now I love the 3x4 cards this month. They're really colorful and fun, and they just are really a joy to work with. Now I measure the boxes. I measure them every single week, but I don't want to screw it up, and knowing me, I would absolutely cut like my favorite card or something and then not have it work. So I always live by that motto of measure twice, cut once. Now I am going to adhere the little card that I cut out and put it right there, and then layer on top of it that yellow label as well, because I have more activities I need to make note of. See, there it is. That's where I figured it out. Oh my gosh, these are stickers. But still, I adhere it. I just can't even tell you. Anyway, so I'm going to use the yellow label as an activity. And then also something had changed, but I kind of liked that sort of having the change notated there. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but things are always ever changing with our plans, in terms of like a coach will change the practice or something like that. And it's kind of one of those things that I really just wanted to notate here, because this is absolutely something in our lives that these are the details I'm going to forget down the road, and they're the ones that I'm really the most desperate to capture. So that's why I kind of wanted to add that there. It may seem kind of strange to you because it makes it not perfect or anything like that, but for me, that's exactly what's necessary. Now I'm going to use another one of those awesome little labels, but this time I'm just going to use half of it. And I'm going to trim another 3x4 card down to fit inside the box, and I will adhere it with my mono adhesive, and then I will peel the backing off the label because look, I finally figured it out. I make myself laugh. And then I'm going to adhere it right there and use my X-Acto knife to trim the excess off. Now I will just use that to notate the plans for Sunday morning, even though the label is flush with the photo, but I'm still just using it for Sunday. Now I'm using my Tombow brush pen to notate the letters, and this is the one that I really like for using in my planner because it allows me to write a little bit smaller. I love my dual brush pens. They're amazing, but you definitely have to write quite a bit bigger, and sometimes I just don't have room for that. Now this is my lettering, and a lot of people ask about it, and I am completely 100 and gazillion% self-taught. So I don't have anything to share with you. But if you go to my Instagram, you will see the letterers that I follow. That is literally all I did. Follow letterers on Instagram, and that's how I learned. So, and then practice, lots of practice. The Tombow Mono Twin is how I like to write on the slick stickers, and there's no smearing, there's nothing like that. I like the size of the tip, and it just works really, really well for me. It also has a thicker tip on the other end, so if you were going to write something bigger, or say you needed to label the inside of your son's baseball hat, you totally have that pen that you can use that for, and then the skinny side for your stickers. It's really pretty awesome. Now, as you can see, I am nearing the end. I'm not completely done though. I've pulled out my self-healing mat. I'm going to use that and my ruler and my PaperMate Flair pen to draw in some journaling lines. And as you know, I love to have those be staggered because I think that it just adds a little bit more whimsy and makes them look a little bit more playful. And the whole point of pretty much everything I do is to be playful, but for sure in my memory planner, I just want it to be fun and sort of evoke the feelings of the week, which is this is just our day-to-day life. It's not perfect, it's not anything like that. It's just kind of crazy and fun, and that's how I want it to be. So I love having that because I feel like it's just really indicative of what things look like around here. So I'm filling up the lines and just writing about that photo on Saturday night, and it's one of the photos that you wouldn't really exactly know what was going on without some sort of description. So that's why I chose that one to make the notes about. Now, one of the last things that I'm going to do here for this layout, because it's mostly complete as you can see, is I want to add one more thing, and I want to take back out those pink fresh die cuts, and I want to add something down there in that lower right hand corner, and this one is perfect. It sums up the photos. It's just perfect with this week. So I use the adhesive, and then I'm going to layer another little sticker under, or die cut underneath it, and add a little sticker, and that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video. As always, I really, truly appreciate it. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment box below, and I will do my very best to get back to you. Thank you so much, and make it a great day.